Imagine an entire mountain made of candy suddenly deciding gravity still applies. That's what happened when Sofia the First accidentally turned the castle grounds into the world's most dangerous dessert. What started as a simple enchantment mishap became a chase scene where the terrain itself wanted to eat everyone. Here's how sweet dreams turned into sticky nightmares. Sofia found it in the garden. A peculiar crystallized gumdrop, half buried near the hedge maze, shimmering with colours that didn't quite exist in nature. She should have left it alone, obviously. But curiosity won, and the moment her fingers touched its surface, reality started melting into sugar. The transformation began subtly. Grass blades stiffened into green candy canes. Cobblestones beneath her feet softened, becoming giant peppermints embedded in suddenly spongy ground. The castle walls rippled, their stone texture dissolving into elaborate gingerbread architecture complete with frosting mortar. Sofia watched her own hands turn translucent, like she'd been carved from hard candy. Her dress became spun sugar, delicate and crystalline. When she tried to call for help, her voice came out tasting of strawberries. "This is impossible," she whispered, except the words literally floated away as edible letters made of fondant. The real problem started when she noticed the mountain. Where the eastern hillside had stood moments before, a massive pile of gumdrops now towered against the sky. Each piece was the size of a boulder, stacked precariously in shades of purple, orange, green and red. They glistened in the sunlight, looking both beautiful and deeply wrong. Then the first one fell. It rolled slowly at first, almost lazy in its descent. A single purple gumdrop the size of a carriage bouncing gently down the slope. Sofia thought maybe it would just roll to a stop. Maybe this was fine. Then the second one fell, and the third. And suddenly, the entire mountain decided structural integrity was optional. The sound was unlike anything she'd heard. Not quite a rumble, not quite a splash. Imagine thousands of giant gummy bears applauding while falling down stairs. That's close. Sofia ran. Her candy legs felt strange, lighter than normal but somehow more fragile. Each step left a small crack in her sugar glass feet that healed almost immediately. The ground beneath her had become a patchwork of different sweets. Licorice paths, chocolate puddles, sections of hard butterscotch that were extremely slippery. Behind her, the gumdrop avalanche gained speed. The massive candies bounced and rolled, some shattering into smaller pieces, others fusing together on impact into larger, more threatening shapes. They crushed the candy flowers, flattened the marzipan bushes, turned the landscape into a churning river of sugar. She spotted Clover ahead, or what used to be Clover. The rabbit had become a chocolate bunny, dark and glossy, his eyes now white chocolate chips. He was frozen mid-hop, apparently having been in the middle of jumping when the transformation hit. "Clover!" Sofia grabbed him. He was solid, heavy, and smelled intensely of cocoa. The vibration from the approaching gumdrop wave travelled through the ground. Sofia felt it in her candy bones. She needed higher ground, something stable that wouldn't get swept away. Her eyes locked on the castle. Except the castle was gingerbread now. Would it even hold? No time to debate. She ran toward it, clutching chocolate Clover as the first wave of gumdrops crashed into the garden behind her. They hit the fountain, which had become a sculpture of rock candy, shattering it into a million glittering pieces. The spray went everywhere, and Sofia realized with horror that the water was now liquid caramel. Hot, liquid caramel. Liquid. She veered left, avoiding the splash zone. Her path took her through what used to be the rose garden. The flowers were now elaborate sugar sculptures, incredibly detailed and completely edible. They crunched under her feet as she ran, leaving a trail of floral devastation. A massive orange gumdrop rolled past her right side, missing by inches. It was close enough that she could see her reflection in its glossy surface, distorted and terrified. The thing had to weigh several tons despite being made of candy. Physics had gotten weird but not completely abandoned. The castle entrance loomed ahead. The gingerbread walls looked thick, reinforced with what appeared to be candy cane support beams. The door was solid chocolate with a white chocolate handle. Sofia grabbed it, prayed it wouldn't melt in her hand, and pulled. It opened. Inside was chaos of a different flavour. The entire castle interior had transformed. Floors were now patterned tiles of different hard candies. The grand staircase was made from stacked wafer cookies held together with generous amounts of royal icing. Tapestries had become fruit leather hanging limply from licorice rods, and everyone was frozen, transformed into their candy equivalents and stuck in whatever pose they'd been in when the magic hit. King Roland was a solid milk chocolate statue standing near the throne, one hand raised in mid-gesture. Queen Miranda was butterscotch, her dress now a flowing cascade of pulled sugar. James had become a gummy prince, translucent red, his sword a stick of peppermint. Amber was cotton candy. Of course she was. Even in a magical disaster, she'd managed to become the most delicate, Instagram-worthy confection possible. Sophia set chocolate clover down carefully and moved deeper into the castle. The floor made small cracking sounds under her weight, but held. Through the windows, she could see the gumdrop avalanche continuing. It had reached the lower gardens now, burying everything under layers of giant candy. She needed to find Cedric. The royal sorcerer would know how to reverse this, assuming he wasn't currently a chocolate frog or something equally unhelpful. The tower stairs were tricky. Each step was a different candy, and some were more structurally sound than others. A butterscotch step crumbled slightly under her foot. A peppermint one was so slippery she nearly fell. But she climbed because what else could she do? Halfway up, she heard it. A sound from outside that made her blood run cold, or would have if her blood wasn't currently strawberry syrup. The rumbling had changed. It wasn't just gumdrops anymore. The avalanche had picked up other candy elements. She could hear the crash of peppermint bark, the tinkle of shattering sugar glass, the wet splat of something that might have been marshmallow. The whole mountain was coming down, and Sophia still had no idea how to stop it, or how to turn everyone back, or even what had caused this in the first place. All she knew was that somewhere in this candy castle, there had to be an answer. She just had to find it before the sweetest apocalypse ever consumed everything. Cedric's tower door was solid dark chocolate with white chocolate hinges. Sophia pushed it open and immediately wished she hadn't. The workshop was absolute carnage. Potion bottles had transformed into glass candy containers, their contents now various coloured syrups that dripped onto the floor. Spellbooks were wafer-thin cookies with edible ink writing. The ceiling had partially collapsed, revealing candy cane rafters above, and Cedric himself was standing in the centre of it all, completely normal. Not chocolate, not gummy, not even slightly candied. Just regular Cedric in his regular robes, looking absolutely furious. "Finally," he snapped. "Do you have any idea how long I've been waiting for someone capable of climbing stairs?" Sophia blinked. "You're not candy." "Obviously. I cast a protection spell the moment I realised what was happening." He gestured irritably at the disaster around him. "Fat lot of good it did. I'm the only thing in this tower that isn't edible." "What happened?" Cedric's eye twitched. "Your sister happened. Princess Amber decided she wanted to impress some visiting dignitaries with a magical dessert display. She stole one of my experimental sweetening potions. One drop was supposed to enhance the flavour of whatever it touched. She used the entire bottle on the fountain in the courtyard. That explained so much and nothing at all. Can you fix it? Can I fix it? Can I fix it?" Cedric's voice rose to a pitch Sophia had only heard when he was particularly stressed. "The entire kingdom is confectionery. The reversal spell requires 17 rare ingredients, 3 of which are currently buried under 50 feet of gumdrops, and the spell itself is written in a book that is now a gingerbread cookie." He picked up what had been his master spell tome. It was indeed gingerbread with icing letters that were already starting to smudge. He held it like it might bite him. "However," he continued, voice dropping back to normal irritation levels, "there is one option. The original potion bottle should still have residue. If I can create a counter-agent using that residue, I might be able to reverse the transformation. But I need the bottle. Where is it?" "Amber dropped it in the throne room when the transformation started. It rolled under the dais. I get it myself, but the moment I leave this tower, the protection spell breaks." Of course it did. Nothing about magic was ever simple. Sophia turned to leave, then stopped. Will everyone be okay? I mean, they're made of candy now. Are they still alive in there? Cedric's expression softened slightly. The spell preserved them in their current state. They're not aging, not suffocating, not even aware time is passing. It's actually quite sophisticated magic, even if it was catastrophically misapplied. Small comfort, but she'd take it. The trip back down the tower was faster than going up. Gravity helped even if her candy apple feet made traction questionable. She slid more than walked, catching herself on the marshmallow handrail that had replaced the regular one. The throne room looked even stranger now. Afternoon light streamed through sugar glass windows, casting rainbow patterns across the candy tile floor. It would have been beautiful if it wasn't so deeply wrong. King Roland's chocolate statue stood frozen mid-speech. Sophia could see the detail in his face, every line preserved perfectly in milk chocolate. It was like looking at a very expensive, very disturbing sculpture. She approached the throne carefully. The dais was rock candy, sharp and glittering. Crawling under it meant risking cuts, but there wasn't another option. The bottle was there, wedged between two crystal formations. It was regular glass, thank goodness, with about a tablespoon of purple liquid still coating the bottom. Sophia grabbed it and backed out carefully. Something crashed outside, loud enough to rattle the sugar glass windows. Sophia ran to look. The gumdrop avalanche had reached the castle walls. Massive spheres of translucent candy were piling up against the gingerbread fortifications. As she watched, a section of wall cracked. Not collapsed, just cracked. But it was only a matter of time. She ran. Back through the candy corridors, past frozen courtiers made of various sweets, up the increasingly unstable tower stairs. A toffee step cracked under her weight. She jumped, landed on what looked like solid butterscotch, kept moving. Cedric was waiting at the top, surrounded by what looked like every container in his workshop that hadn't transformed. Bowls, cups, even a shoe, anything that could hold liquid. The bottle, he demanded. Sophia handed it over. He immediately dumped the purple residue into a copper bowl that somehow remained copper. Then he started adding things. A pinch of salt from a container labelled Dead Sea Salt. 3 drops of something clear from a vial. The shell of what had been a beetle, now a candy beetle, which he crushed with obvious disgust. This is going to be close, he muttered. The counter-agent needs to be exactly the right potency. Too weak and nothing happens. Too strong and everyone becomes double candy. Is that a thing? I don't want to find out. Another crash from outside, closer this time. The whole tower swayed slightly. Candy cane support beams could only take so much stress. Cedric worked faster. His hands moved with surprising precision, measuring, mixing, muttering incantations under his breath. The mixture in the bowl started to glow, first purple, then shifting through the spectrum to a bright, clean white. That's it, he breathed. That's the reversal catalyst. He poured it into what had been a perfume atomizer and was now a glass spray bottle with a candy cane handle. The whole thing looked ridiculous, but if it worked, Sophia didn't care. How do we use it? We spray it on the source, the fountain where Amber dumped the original potion. The reversal should cascade outward from there, undoing everything in reverse order. They ran. Well, Cedric ran. Sophia sort of slid and skipped, her candy apple feet making normal movement impossible. Down the tower stairs, through the throne room where Chocolate Roland still stood frozen, out into the courtyard. The fountain was completely transformed. What had been elegant marble was now a towering structure of spun, sugar and chocolate, with streams of liquid caramel flowing where water used to be. And it was surrounded by gumdrops, mountains of them piled up from the avalanche. We need to get closer, Cedric said. The gumdrops were still rolling in. One bounced off the sugar fountain with a sound like a gong. Another crushed a candy flower bed. They were running out of time. Sophia looked at the massive spheres, then at Cedric's spray bottle, then made a decision. Spray me. No, what? Spray the reversal on me. Then I'll climb over the gumdrops and spray the fountain. You can't do it. You're not candy. You'll just get crushed. Cedric stared at her for a long moment, then nodded. He sprayed her. The mist hit her arm and the sensation was immediate. Her candy apple coating started to dissolve, not into nothing, but into something real. Flesh. Actual human flesh. It spread across her arm like reverse crystallization, the hard shell softening, melting away, revealing normal skin underneath. It works, she breathed. Go. Before the structural integrity fails completely. Sophia ran toward the gumdrop pile. Her partially restored feet gave her better traction now, though one was still candy. She grabbed the side of a massive sphere, pulled herself up. The surface was sticky but firm enough to climb. Another gumdrop rolled past, missing her by inches. She kept climbing, up one, over to another, using the gaps between them as footholds. The spray bottle was clutched in her hand, its candy cane handle already starting to feel less sweet, more glass-like as the reversal spread through it. At the top of the pile, she could see the fountain clearly. The caramel streams were slowing, becoming thicker, more syrupy. The whole structure looked unstable, like it might collapse inward at any moment. She jumped. For a brief moment, she was airborne, suspended between the Gumdrop Mountain and the fountain. Then she landed in the shallow pool at its base, now filled with liquid toffee instead of water. The heat was immediate. Toffee was hot. Of course, it was hot. She bit back a yelp and raised the spray bottle. 1 spray, 2, 3. She emptied the entire thing onto the fountain's center column, where the original enchanted water had flowed. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then everything happened. The reversal spread like a shockwave. The fountain's sugar exterior cracked, split, fell away to reveal marble underneath. The caramel streams turned clear, became water again, cold water that made Sophia gasp with relief as it splashed over her. The wave of transformation spread outward. The Gumdrop Mountain began to shrink, each sphere reducing in size, their bright colours fading to the dull grey-brown of normal garden stones. The candy cane columns throughout the courtyard straightened, hardened, became regular stone pillars again. Inside the castle, Sophia could hear crashes and transformations, the gingerbread walls reverting, the chocolate statues melting back into people. She climbed out of the fountain, now completely human again, dripping wet but solid. Real. Cedric was already human too, looking relieved and slightly nauseous. "I never want to smell sugar again," he muttered. The courtyard filled with people as the reversal completed. Amber stumbled out of the castle, looking dazed and slightly green. "I think I was a lollipop," she said weakly. "I remember being stuck to something." Was I stuck to something? James emerged right behind her, shaking his head like he was trying to clear it. "I tasted purple. How do you taste a colour?" Roland and Miranda appeared in the main doorway, both looking confused but intact. The king was brushing what looked like chocolate dust off his robes. "Someone want to explain why the treasury smells like a bakery?" Sophia and Cedric exchanged glances. "Science experiment gone wrong," Sophia offered. "Magic experiment gone catastrophically wrong," Cedric corrected. "But resolved, completely resolved, no lasting damage. Probably. Miranda's voice had that dangerous edge mothers get. "The sugar content in the castle's foundation may be elevated for a few weeks, nothing structural. Just avoid open flames near the walls." Amber groaned. "This is my fault, isn't it?" "Your beautification potion turned the kingdom into a dessert buffet," James said. "So, yes. I was trying to help. You tried to help by dumping an untested magical concoction into the public water supply. When you say it like that, it sounds bad." "It was bad, Amber. We were literally candy." Sophia left them to their argument and walked to the garden's edge, where the last few transformations were completing. A rosebush shook off its candy coating and returned to normal thorns and petals. A stone bench lost its chocolate shell and became stone again. Clover hopped up beside her, looking exhausted. "I found 12 carrots during the whole thing. 12, and they were all gummy carrots. Do you know how disappointing gummy carrots are?" "I can imagine." "No, you really can't. It's a betrayal on a fundamental level." Minimus trotted over, shaking his mane. "I was peppermint. My entire body was peppermint. I could smell myself." "At least you weren't chocolate in the sun," Robin said, landing on Sophia's shoulder. I started melting, actually melting. Most undignified experience of my life. The evening sun was setting now, casting normal golden light over the castle. Not candy gold, not sugar crystal sparkles, just regular sunset light, and it was perfect. Cedric approached, looking tired but satisfied. The reversal is complete. I've checked the magical resonance. Everything's back to normal. No lingering effects? Well, the fountain water might taste slightly sweet for a few days, and I'd avoid the east wing bathroom. Some of the soap turned to taffy, and it's proving stubborn about changing back, but otherwise we're fine. Amber's grounded, right? For approximately forever, I believe the Queen said. From inside the castle, they could hear Amber's protests and Miranda's firm responses. Something about responsibility and thinking before acting, and absolutely no magic privileges for a month. Sophia smiled. Normal consequences for abnormal problems. That was a good sign. "You did well today, Princess," Cedric said quietly. "The climbing, the quick thinking, the reversal application. Very resourceful. You created the counter-agent. Yes, but you delivered it. Under pressure, while partially transformed into candy. That takes courage." It was possibly the nicest thing Cedric had ever said to her. Sophia decided not to ruin it by pointing that out. "Just another day in Enchantia," she said instead. "Indeed." He paused. "Though perhaps we could aim for fewer days like this one." "Agreed." The stars were coming out now. Normal stars, not candy decorations or sugar crystals. Just distant points of light in a darkening sky. Sophia thought about how close they'd come to being trapped forever in a world of sweets, how the entire kingdom had transformed because of one impulsive decision and one untested potion. Magic was powerful. That was the lesson, though not the one Amber would probably learn. Magic was powerful and needed respect, needed careful consideration, needed understanding of consequences before action. But also, and this was important too, every problem had a solution. Even when that problem was kingdom-wide candy transformation, you just had to think, stay calm and work with what you had. Even if what you had was a grumpy sorcerer, a spray bottle with a candy cane handle, and the willingness to climb a mountain of gumdrops, the castle was safe, everyone was restored. And somewhere in the kitchen, the cook was probably discovering that all her sugar had turned to salt, but that was a problem for tomorrow. So the kingdom learned something that day. When you mix magic with vanity, you get disaster flavored like dessert. Amber's beautification scheme nearly crystallized everyone permanently. Sophia's quick thinking and Cedric's reluctant competence saved them all from becoming eternal confections. The real sweetness wasn't in the candy transformation, it was in working together when everything literally started melting. Sometimes the best magic is just solving problems before they bury you under 50 feet of gumdrops. And maybe keeping untested potions away from fountains. That helps too.